Before we start, I would like you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Insane Worlds. Number 6. Elefante the War Elephant. Gilead's mortuary temple was one of several sculptures within the Garden of Monsters thought to be more than meets the eye. Another is Elefante, also known as Hannibal's War Elephant. Elefante portrays the tragic events from Orsini's military career, symbolizing the Battle of Hesdin, where he witnessed the loss of his good friend and commander Farnesy. Before being taken as a prisoner of war, the large stone animal carries a corpse in its trunk that appears to be dressed in a Roman military uniform, representing the painful loss of his friend. Orsini's capture and imprisonment are also depicted in the statue by the tower on the elephant's back. Bosch's study suggests that the additional imagery on the sculpture symbolizes a link between the threat of opposing forces. Number 5. Gigante the Giant. One of the last sculptures built in the Garden of Monsters was Gigante the Giant, also known as Fighting Giants. The sculpture, which depicts a giant tearing another giant in half, was inspired by a poem called Orlando Furioso that paralleled an event in Orsini's life. According to Columbia University, the poem tells of a love story that turned bitter when Knight Orlando learned that his beloved lost her virginity to a foot soldier ranked beneath him. Driven mad with rage, Orlando stripped off his armor and clothes and went on a rampage, attacking and killing any plant, animal, or human he came across with nothing but his bare hands. In a similar tale, when Orsini returned home from his trials at war, he found that his mistress had left him. The sculpture depicts the wrenching pain that overtook him when he learned she had run off with another man. Number 4. The Duality of Orcus. One of the most recognizable sculptures in Orsini's Garden of Monsters is the disembodied head of an orc known as Orcus. The head appears frozen in the middle of a screen, its mouth perpetually open. More than just a sculpture, Orcus was also designed as a place to eat, making it seem as though you are eating and being eaten at the same time. If one dares to venture inside the mouth, they will find a picnic table formed by hell's tongue and seating space for a small dinner party. There is also an inscription written above the mouth of Orcus that may sound familiar to visitors. It is said that the gates of hell feature the inscription, "Abandon all hope, those who enter here." Similarly, the words written over Orcus's mouth read, "All reason departs," possibly suggesting the abandonment of all reason before entering. The detail likely inspired the nickname Mouth of Hell. Number 3. Its purpose may be found in the inscriptions. The inscription on the Orcus statue is one of many found within the garden. All employ equally cryptic messages that have intrigued visitors for decades. For example, the words, "and all other marvels prized before the world yield to the sacred wood that resembles only itself and nothing else." Melinda Schlitt, art history and humanities professor at Dickinson College, explains it as urging visitors to avoid comparing the garden to other marvels of the world and appreciate it for what it is. Another inscription reads, "Thou who enter this garden, be very attentive and tell me then if these marvels have been created to deceive visitors or for the sake of art." Yet another reads, "Just to set the heart free." Many have wondered if one of the inscriptions was meant to reveal Orsini's true purpose for creating the Garden of Monsters, but there is no way to know for sure. Number 2. Salvador Dali brought the garden to the public eye. In 1938, several centuries after Orsini's death, well-known surrealist painter and filmmaker Salvador Dali discovered the Garden of Monsters. The grounds were wildly overgrown and long forgotten, but Dali found inspiration in the grotesque works in stone. He created a short film based on the garden called In the World of the Surreal Salvador Dali in the Garden of Monsters, which aired on November 10, 1948. In studies in the history of gardens and design landscapes, Talia Allington would recount watching Dali clamoring on the statues as an orchestra played in the background, holding what looked like a conductor stick on the top of Elefante and crouching by a candle in Orcus's mouth. Other clips from the film presented the garden solely through the workings of the surrealist artist's mind. Dali also referenced the monsters from the garden in his 1964 painting The Temptation of Saint Anthony, which was one of his most famous artworks. Dali's film and painting sparked public interest in Orsini's garden. Soon it was being discussed in articles, essays, and novels, and even inspired an opera in 1967 called Buon Marzo. Number 1. The Garden of Monsters is now a tourist destination. What was once a private and scantily documented Villa of Wonders is now more accessible than ever. Sometime after Dali brought it to the public attention, Giovanni Bettini, a real estate agent, purchased the property and took steps to restore it. Since then, several movies have used the unique sculptures as a background. For example, some scenes in the 1985 Frankenstein film The Bride were filmed among the statuary. In that same year, a fight scene for the Adventures of Hercules movie took place in the garden and used Orcus's mouth as the entrance to a cave. In 1997, the movie Relic used a replica of Orcus's mouth as a set piece. Currently, the park exists as a major tourist destination and sees around 40,000 visitors each year. Despite its ever-increasing popularity, Orsini's Garden of Monsters remains one of the least understood gardens in history. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.